Hi, well today I'm going to prepare some Pacific black duck. These were shot on the opening morning of this year's duck season and they're in prime condition. They've been in the freezer for about 3 weeks so the meat can set, and I reckon they're just perfect to be cooked today. I'm going to cook them in a traditional Greek style Stifado, which is a very slow cooked braise, and very simple recipe, but they come up really good, and we'll serve that with a bit of pasta. I'll make some tzatziki to go with it and some freshly baked bread. These birds, they've been in the fridge overnight, soaking in a bicarbonate of soda bath. And this is a trick that I was shown by an old fella, an old timer, who's unfortunately no longer with us. But what the bicarbonate does, it tends to clean the birds up a little bit, softens them, gets rid of the blood, and takes away a little bit of that gamey smell that some people don't like. So what I'll do with these now is I'll pat dry them and then we'll get them ready for braising. This is genuinely extra virgin olive oil from Greece. I'd use nothing else but that. So we want to be generous with our olive oil to get it in here. The whole idea is to get this as hot as we can and to keep it as hot as we can. So as each duck is braised, we'll give the oil a chance to reheat so that it can cook them nice and the way we want them. So what we've got here is we've got a prime black duck, and the way you can tell how well it is you can see this fat, and I've left that on intentionally to just give it a little bit of flavour, and you see a lot of thickness of fat, duck fat. It means that duck's had a pretty good life. It's fed well and done well. So that's a good example of one of the things we look for. Before the duck is plucked and cutted, you also look for the colour of their feet. Sometimes people misinterpret a bright coloured feet as being a hybrid, but it's in fact not. It's a well-fed black duck. This oil is now ready to go, so we'll get the first one underway. We only just wanted to braise it. We want to darken it. We don't need to do it on both sides. Basically only the skin, and the whole idea is to keep this oil as hot as we can. Okay, so when we think it's enough, and that's just basically just by the colour of the skin, we can take that one out and pop the next one in. I'm satisfied that's well braised. Okay, so now we get the main pot ready for all our spices, and I've got some bay leaves. They go in. We've got some allspice berries. They go in. We have a stick of cinnamon that goes in. Whole cloves, and they pop in as well. 3 glasses of a Greek wine called Mavrodaphne, which is a little bit like a port, not a sweet. And we get 1, 2, 3 glasses of water, equivalent amount of water into the. We put our ducks back in. I'm putting them skin down so they get. That's where most of the flesh is anyway, and so I want them to cook up. Now that's not quite enough fluid, so I think we need another glass of wine. The whole idea is to try and cover it as much as you possibly can. And we'll just get another glass of water, 4 of each, a bit of ground black pepper for flavour. I don't measure it, I just reckon there's enough when there's enough. And they'll be ready in about 2 hours or thereabouts. This is probably the most important ingredient in any Stifado. It's the shallots. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prepare the shallots. I'm going to cut them and I'm going to put them under water for about 30 minutes. It just takes a little bit of that edge, that bitterness out of them, and then we'll transfer them in with the ducks about an hour and a half into the cooking process. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just par fry our shallots to give them a little bit of a head start before we pop them in with the ducks. These shallots have been soaking in water for about half an hour, as I said, to try and just take that little bit of an edge off them. So in they go. We just want to try and sear them mainly, not cook them at all. The whole idea is to keep them moving. You can't buy wild duck. A hunter can't sell it to you. It's illegal. So the only way you're going to get it is to go out and hunt for it. And it's a unique flavour. It's got a texture that's unlike farm-raised animals. And that's why we love it so much, because it's unique. We're not going to sustain ourselves on wild food, but it is a fantastic celebratory meal to have when you can. We'll crack open our bottle of retsina, which is a nice Greek wine, which I love with this type of food. So we'll try that. And you've got some freshly made home-baked bread to also dip into your sauce, and some freshly made Greek tzatziki. I'm hoping that you guys are going to be able to taste all the spices and the flavours that I use, the bay leaf, and of course the shallots. They'll give it that real flavour. I am hoping that it'll taste a lot different to farm-raised animals, and I'm sure it will, because I've cooked this a million times and it always tastes good. In fact, if we don't have to talk in too much longer, I'd really like to start eating. The wild duck meat is darker, it's redder, typically a game meat. Its texture is a tighter texture to normal farm-raised animals. Definitely very, very unique. It goes well with the retsina. The retsina is just a personal taste. I don't know whether that it's because of my Greek heritage. I just love it, retsina with Stifado, and I'm hoping that you too will enjoy it. Hunting is very much a part of my culture, and I'm Greek Australian, but it's very much a part of my ethnic background, my Greek culture. People absolutely love the idea that you are presenting game food, because they know that you just can't get it, you can't buy it, and so. In Greece, when people would go hunting and they'd bring back a hare, the thing would get divided up 16 different ways. The 16 families could just lick a bone. That's how rare it is. Here, it's no different. Even those people, those families that don't participate in hunting, love the idea of an invitation to a hunter's home to have some ducks, some rabbits, some hare, some goat, and all the other game animals that we're so blessed to have here in Australia. But the piece for me, it's duck. I just absolutely love it, and so does my family.